On our interview segment, we caught up with the Bayelsa State Commissioner for Environment, who spoke to us on a number of issues, including the impact of climate change on the state's environment and how the government is working to address the problem. How exactly has climate change affected Bayelsa State?
Well, Bayelsa is also part of the Niger Delta area that has been affected by extreme climate change effects. Firstly, the flooding we naturally know, has disappeared. Flooding these days are excessive, abnormal. Every known land in the Niger Delta, particularly Bayelsa State, is submerged and it overflows its banks. And when flooding comes in that magnitude, it comes with epidemics, health problems emerge, and when the flood recedes finally, it also comes with coastal erosion. The land will collapse. Most areas that have been submerged will be washed away, like a community close to the state capital, Ogbogoro. State government have just awarded a contract to do canalization. Most part of the community has been washed away. So many communities are facing, of course, we are a littoral state. All the communities are by the shoreline. And major part, about 6 local government areas, all communities in the 6 local government areas have been affected. And we are finding it difficult because of the paucity of funds in the state. A lot of issues have been brought to the people of Bayelsa State because of climate change.
Apart from flooding, oil spill is also another issue that the Bayelsa State government, and in fact the Niger Delta in particular, has been dealing with over the years. Is it also an issue at the moment?
Egypt alone, on my last check, had over 40 oil spills. Shell had over 14, my last check. And of course, the people of Bayelsa are majorly fishermen and farmers. Our fishing grounds, there is no fish. We don't have fish again. I know as a child those days, your mother can just put fire, start to boil plantain, and then you run to the waterside, you can catch fish and come back. The pot is boiling. Your parents will be happy. Now sit down at the waterfront and do the hooking by like a space of 2-3 hours. You have not had one caught. You have not. So the spill has contaminated, destroyed our environment, land and water. Not just land. It's land and water. The aquatic life is gone. Our biosystem is also affected, ravaged completely. The animal life is gone. These are the problems we are facing in the Niger Delta, and in particular Bayelsa State. And he happens to probe into it. Of course, oil drilling is in the exclusive list. And all laws governing the oil industry is skewed in favor of the federal government. There's not much you can do.
So how have you been engaging these multinational oil companies who cause the spills in the region?
We have always engaged them, but it has not yielded desired results. When there is a spill, as provided by in the law, the ministry representatives, the Department for Petroleum and Pollution, the director and a few engineers in that department, NESDRA, the company in question who owns the pipeline, and the community will go for JIV. The JIV report will also instigate a mitigation effort.
Now, oil bunkering has also been blamed for some of these issues. Is that still going on in Bayelsa State? Do people still engage in oil bunkering activities?
Yes, oil bunkering was on a large scale, but because of the concern and the commitment of the government, most of it is gone.
gas flaring is another major issue which the government has actually been talking about how to stop gas flaring, and they've kept fixing dates and dates to ensure that this happens, but that hasn't happened yet. Is it still a challenge in Bayelsa State?
It is. It is. Gas flaring is one major problem that adds greenhouse gases to the environment. Of course, like I said earlier, it's in the exclusive list. There's nothing the state government can do except than to appeal to the federal government for a stop of gas flaring. And that the state government have always been doing. That has not yielded results. It has serious problems. In fact, we can confidently say that the cancer problems that are in the increase could possibly may have emanated from the gas flaring. And Nigeria as a country has to bring it to a stop.
What's your message now as we leave you on this program to anyone who is watching you as regards addressing environmental issues in Bayelsa State to give life back to the people?
We want federal government commitment to the plight of Bayelsans. We want federal government to yield to the request of Bayelsans and the Bayelsa government. We want the River Niger to be desilted. We want our creeks desilted. We want federal government to stop gas flaring. We want federal government to review the environment laws governing the environment, like mines and steel. The sand dredging is also in the exclusive list. And we have noticed our land sometimes is scooped to sell. And we accost them. It's our environment. The environment is under the supervision of the governor. I cannot close our eyes and watch sand dredgers scoop the sand, scoop close to facilities of the state, of the facilities built by the federal government, or the land that's by us. That's our only state, and we cannot compromise it. So federal government, so relax the laws governing the environment, and allow the states to control issues that has to do with the state environment.
All right, we must thank you very much for speaking with us on the program today. Our guest has been the Honorable Commissioner for Environment in Bayelsa State, Honorable Iselema Barambiri. Thank you so much for being here.